Welcome to another edition of Cat Soup, the best and worst of internet humor on the radio. I am Kat.
I am Alex.
And I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm
like
ready.
I always do.
It's so early. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you registered to vote?
Well, of course I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan?
Well, what do you mean, a plan?
We'll explain that later.
I know who I'm going to vote for.
I'll explain
Is
that
what you
later.
mean?
No.
A plan?
So I told you what I was doing last night with Jane Fonda
Yes.
and Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went to a virtual
How was it?
game of 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. You had to give a donation to get a ticket, and it was fairly nonpartisan, which I was impressed with. It was pretty much about we got to vote. Everybody's got to vote. But it was so fun. It started with Jane Fonda, and then it went to Lily Tomlin, and then it went to a couple other people that I can't remember, and then eventually it went to Kara Sedgwick, who was in Footloose with Kevin Bacon, right?
His wife.
Or that's his wife? Oh, maybe I got the wrong girl.
No.
Anyway.
Probably.
So she's talking, and then in comes Kevin, and they each gave a little spiel about why they vote and what they've learned about voting and stuff in the
Doesn't
past.
he look good?
He looks good. They all look good.
Yeah.
Of course, you know. Well, Lily Tomlin looks like a person. The rest of them look like they've had work done.
Oh, yeah.
She's so pretty.
Oh, I
Cute.
love Lily Tomlin.
But she showed
yeah.
up with her crazy glasses and a hat, and yeah, she's way too funny. But they all told stories about how they know each other. That's how you play 6 Degrees, because Jane Fonda apparently didn't know Kevin Bacon personally.
Really?
So they played that, and then they made the connection that that's why we vote, because we're all a family, and you're only 6 degrees, at the most 6 degrees from any other person in the world. And so we need to be a cohesive unit.
How long
as
did
the
that
United
last,
States.
that online
It was an
thing?
hour. Was
it fun?
It was so fun. It was so fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And this was live.
This was live.
That's great.
Yeah, and you could tell
That's
because
exciting.
they were so not scripted. Oh my goodness.
Can you ask them
They went off the
questions?
rails more than we did.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you text or send questions to them? Or was it interactive?
They didn't. Well, they didn't answer any. There was a side chat.
Okay.
And so people were making comments, and some people were asking questions. So I wonder if they were going to get back to them later. But there were people from all over the country.
Oh, how bad.
I think it was 200. They had 200 seats there.
Wow.
So
That's
very
cool. I like that.
Very cool.
More celebrities should do that.
Yeah. So I have another joke.
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't know if it's a joke or a question. So what do you think, Alex? Why do Americans choose from just 2 people to run for president and 50 for Miss America?
I don't know. Do they still have Miss America on?
Yeah.
That's kind of cringy, I think.
Kind of cringy. Whatever.
Who even hosts Miss America nowadays? Bert Convey?
It
No,
used
he's
to
dead.
be Donny Osmond.
Donny Osmond?
And then
Is he dead?
the guy from Dallas, Patrick something or other.
He's dead.
I think he's dead. I don't know.
Duffy? Patrick Duffy?
Yes, I think
Did he
that was-
die? Dave, did he die?
Patrick. Oh, sorry, Patrick.
Yeah, he's dead.
If you're watching.
Oh, his career's dead. I'm sorry. Oh,
It's amazing we're on the air.
my
from
career's
week to
dead,
week.
too. My career.
It's going to be
I
pretty
have no
soon.
career. Okay.
So we're going to do something interesting.
We always do something interesting. This is going to be like extra. Like they say in New Orleans, Lenape.
Lagniappe
Gesundheit.
in French.
Oh, I thought you
Lagniappe.
did something.
Lagniappe is an extra thing that they
Isn't
throw
it
in.
Lenape? Lenape?
If you're from Ohio,
Oh, I don't know, Kat.
I think it's Lagniappe. Brian, if you're watching, the French teacher, let us
Lenape.
know how to pronounce Lagniappe.
Lenape.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're going to talk
Yeah.
about voting and politics without mentioning any party or any politician.
That's going to be pretty difficult. How are we going to do that?
It's going to be pretty difficult for you. I've been practicing.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
How do you practice? I mean, I
Alex,
get
if
this.
it's in your head, it comes out your mouth. Alex? No. Just,
Oh, you're going to censor yourself?
I'm going to censor you. I'm going to reach over and, like,
Hit the button.
your-
We got a button here.
I forgot we have a mute button.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have solved so many problems this season.
What's this green one here? What's that say?
What does it say?
See?
It says cough. So you can turn off your mic so you can cough.
Does that work, Dave?
You've been in broadcasting for how long?
Well, I don't know with this green one. I can't see.
You never worked with a cough button?
Well, it never said cough on it. Did it?
Yeah.
It's just like a pause.
Yeah. See, there's on, off, cough, and then I don't know what that one is. What I can't even see it.
It's TB.
It's TB. What's TB? Talk back.
Yeah.
If you're in a different studios in a different room.
You should know that.
I should know that
Kat.
too. Well, the button was never labeled.
Here's the cough button. Oh, it works.
There you go.
There you go.
They might
All
have
right.
heard it in my mic, but not in yours. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna.
I feel like I'm
can't-
metaphysical.
I can't get comfortable here. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right,
No.
there we go.
I'll be off to the side.
No. I'll have more people write to me and say that handsome guy.
You know,
is
people listen
not
to us, but they don't hit that like. You see the.
I know, and
Yeah.
please, because if we reach a certain number of viewers
Mm-hmm.
and likes, we get to go over to Cat Soup channel.
Right, we only need 100,000 more or something like that. So
Yes,
if you
exactly.
like this show, just hit
Yeah,
like. We're on all these platforms too.
I know.
Can get
But
kind of
well,
confusing.
every week when I post on
Facebook.
WordPress, when I do our blog, we get a couple more that
Okay.
follow the blog. And if you go to the blog, you get to see everything. You get to hear us on Spotify. You get to watch us on YouTube. You
And-
get little insights about what I do to Alex in the breaks.
People across the world. Yes, people across Senegal. We got one from Senegal. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's all I have to say.
wonder how you say cat in Senegali.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be in so much trouble.
Okay. This is like an un-PC thing, and we're going to be PC on the.
We're going to be PC
candidate.
about politics, yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
So here's some more little one-liners.
All right.
America is a country which produces citizens who will cross the ocean to fight for democracy, but won't cross the street to vote. That's not all that funny.
That was funny.
Not really.
If con is the opposite of pro, then isn't Congress the opposite of progress?
That's way too real.
Yeah.
The worst part about working for the Department of Unemployment is when you get fired, you still have to show up the next day. Love that one.
How about this one? I don't approve of political jokes. I've seen too many of them get elected. Well, isn't that the truth?
Yow.
Good gosh. No names, please.
No names. No. I remember when Halloween was the scariest night of the year. Now it's election night.
Right. And we get to dress up, too.
And so that brings us
Yeah.
to the fun part of the show. The public service announcement.
Yeah. PSAs.
What is the date today?
4th.
The 4th?
Yeah.
You got 3 days. If you're not
Oh,
registered,
yeah.
you got 3 days. October 7th by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the deadline for registering.
And it's so easy to vote, too.
It's so easy. Well, it's not easy to vote if you're not registered.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first step. You got to be registered. And you have to be registered by October 7th. So you can register in person at your local elections office. You can go online, vote.org. It'll put you right to the place you're supposed to go. Secretary of State in Ohio has a site where you can register. Or you can send something in postmarked. There's a form, actually, that you can send in by mail. It has to be postmarked by October 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And you
that is
can,
coming
and
up.
the great part is you can say whether you want to show up in person, whether you want to vote absentee ballot, or whether you want to vote early.
And for some of our listeners who have visual, some type of impairment,
Yes.
they can accommodate you too.
Yes, in fact, under federal law, all polling places must have at least one accessible voting machine available for people with disabilities.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to going in and voting that I don't really look around and make eye contact with anybody.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
Except the little lady at the desk there.
Oh,
who
I
asked
love the
for you.
little old ladies at the desk. Yeah. Boy, if you call ahead of time,
Yes.
they'll know that you need help. All the polling places will have something, so when you get there, you need to alert someone that you need a little bit of help, and
Yeah.
they will take you over to the machine. You can hear an audio version of the ballot, and you can use a keypad that's marked in Braille
Pretty good.
to vote, and
Yeah.
you can also ask someone to help you and bring somebody in with you. For voters with less severe impairments, the machine also magnifies the text on the ballot.
Wow.
And if you have a dexterity challenge or other issue with your hands, you can make choices using a paddle or one of those sip and puff mouth instruments like Stephen Hawking used.
Really? Mm-hmm. Even at my polling place, like in Akron, they
Every
have
polling-
somebody there.
Well, I think for that...
Or they
if
call
it's-
somebody in.
Yeah, well, I think for that you have to let them know ahead of time. But if you have a visual impairment, they are ready for you to show up.
What did they do 30 years ago, huh? That would have been more difficult. It's so easy now to do this.
I know. So take advantage. Oh my goodness, because you can't vote.
Right.
You can't vote if you don't.
It's important.
If you don't register.
Mm-hmm.
I'm involved in something where I'm writing letters. Mm-hmm. There's a company or an organization called voteforward.org, and you sign up and you print out these letters that they give you, and a lot of the information is there, and then you write your personal why I think you should vote. Mm-hmm. Comment on it. Totally nonpartisan. It's just to get people to either register or vote. And it's great. And one of the things is this that I enclose with my letter, and it's a voting checklist. Because Lily Tomlin said, I think it was Lily Tomlin, somebody, might have been Kara, last night said it makes it so much easier if you have a plan. Not for who you're voting for. We don't care who you vote for. But if you have a plan and you start now, and this checklist is, you check your voter registration, and there's online fwd.vote/registration to see if you are registered, because they've cleaned some of the things off the ballot. If you haven't voted for a while, you drop off. And you can also get something to go.
Oh, that's what they mean by plan. So you go down this checklist.
Right. And then you can research what's on the ballot at the same place. There are a billion places online. Pew Research is one of them. There's a few other websites we'll mention. And then you decide how you're going to vote: by mail, early voting, or at the polls.
Okay.
And then you put a calendar on your calendar. Put a reminder on your calendar. Also, how are you going to get to the polls? If you're going to go, especially if we have a visual impairment, make sure you got a ride, Uber, friend, whatever. And there.
We'll put that on the screen too.
Well, it is on the screen. Here's the QR code that you can.
Those with epilepsy, don't look at your screen.
Ooh. I was doing so well right up to there. I was totally credible, and then blah.
I'm kind of lucky. I live about 200 yards from my voting, but that's very unusual. I just walk out my door and go to vote.
That's nice.
But other people don't. That's good to have some type of game plan.
If you scan this, you will not hear anything about Democrats or Republicans or independents or anybody. No names. You will just find out things like where to get your information.
Hey, I could put that QR code up on our YouTube.
It's yours.
So
it's
people
all
can
yours.
scan it off the screen.
Right.
God, I am so smart.
So
sometimes.
I think we're done with that. Except, no, we're going to talk about more stuff.
More.
Here, maybe this will help you.
Can we talk more about politics?
If you want to vote, we're going to talk about elections.
Okay. Well, that's politics, I guess.
In the elections of 2018 and 2022 were three of the highest turnout U.S. elections of all time.
All time?
All time. About two-thirds, 66% of the voting eligible population turned out for the presidential elections. 66% is still not enough, folks.
It's a lot.
I mean it's a majority, but it's. I want to know that whoever gets elected, that enough people cast their vote so that enough people are happy.
Kat, when you were growing up, when I was growing up, as soon as I was able to vote, it was our duty. You know what I mean? As a citizen. And that's the way we look at it. Our family, we always voted. Did you always vote?
Always.
Yeah.
Well, no, the first couple years that I was eligible, I did not because I didn't know what to expect. And I don't know.
Oh, you mean you didn't know where the polling place was?
Like, how do you do that? And then there was a voter registration drive on campus.
Yeah.
And so
that's where that thing comes in handy.
And that's where it comes in handy. And that when I'm writing my letters, that's what I say.
Yeah.
It appears that you might not be registered.
Good.
Here's my story. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I wasn't sure any of it. But it's okay. You matter. Yeah. And that's my tagline. You matter. Everybody matters. Every vote, every person. You matter. So don't be thinking my candidate's not going to win or it doesn't make any difference.
I'm like that at Five Guys with the pop machine. Have you ever operated that? How do you operate it? All these choices. What do you do? So you walk away.
Voting. Five Guys.
There's just an array of choices that you have out there.
I love you, Alex.
And there's resources there. You can always ask somebody from the counter to come and help you.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready for politics.
Overall, overall, 70% of U.S. adult citizens who were eligible to participate in all three elections between 2018 and 2022 voted in at least one of them, with about half the share voting in all three. That's only 30% of people. So, yeah, it's important. And there's statistics.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wake up, everybody. Wake up.
Thank you. And there's statistics about how many Republicans, how many Democrats, how many independents, what their hair color was.
Wow, everything.
Yeah. So we have some more jokes about politicians, not any specific politicians.
Yeah, that's important,
Alex.
Yes.
Why can't you let a politician on a plane?
I don't know.
Because he'll keep trying to destroy the other wing.
That's good. How are politicians like diapers, Kat?
I don't know.
Well, they both need to be changed regularly and for the same reason. Ooh.
This one's a little cutting. Why do thieves never target politicians' homes?
Why?
Professional courtesy. Great one-liner here. Politicians can find an excuse to get out of anything except office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was arrested for impersonating a politician, but all I was doing was sitting in my office doing nothing. Oh, gosh. Gee. All right.
Yeah, we're not going to read the next two because I did read these ahead of time. We're doing a rep and read again.
They're funny.
Yes.
Biting, but funny.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's what we're here for.
When I was a kid, my dad told me anyone can become president. Now that I'm an adult, I believe it, and it gives me nightmares.
Have you heard about McDonald's new presidential value meal?
No.
You order whatever you want, and the person after you has to pay for it.
Ooh, yeah.
What's that called? Something forward? Oprah always says
Mess
that.
up the next person forward? Is that what they...
Oprah always says, pay it forward.
I was
Oprah
kidding.
always is big on that. When you're behind a line, you pay for theirs.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
The church that I went to at one time gave us little cards.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do that. We would go up to the drive-through and order and say, pay for the guy behind me.
Oh.
Whatever it is, here's my credit card. And you'd give them this little card, and then they would give the person behind you the card.
Are you still with that Mormon church?
No.
You're not?
I'm not with any church anymore.
Yeah, okay.
As you know.
Yes, I know. That was a joke.
Stab me in the heart.
We should have a religious show next week.
I actually had someone, I was slow getting out of the parking lot, and I had somebody get out of their car and run up to my car to thank me.
Oh, really?
Nobody's ever done anything like that for me before. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Isn't that sweet?
In my case, there's always a car full of 12 people. Mm-hmm. I'm always behind that. And I'm like, I'm not paying for them. That's it. They can pay for their own. All right.
The president says to his friend, the unnamed president says to his friend, my poll numbers are dropping. Do you think I should put more fire into my speeches?
Actually, she replies, I think you should put more of your speeches into the fire. Ooh, well, that's bitey.
This one's so kind of mean-spirited. If you're not part of the solution, then you're probably running for president.
Oh, no. After the president's annual physical, his doctor delivered the news. Mr. President, the good news is that you have two sides of your brain. The bad news is that on the left side, there isn't anything right. And on the right side, there isn't anything left.
There you go.
Well, that's kind of pithy.
There you go.
Is that a word, pithy? Pithy, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Pithy. You're really good at those words. I have to always check with you.
Journalist.
And then if you don't know, ask Dave. So that's kind of like
because Dave knows everything.
Dave does know
about everything.
That's what his bumper sticker says on his car.
I know everything about everything.
Oh, you've seen it?
My cousin says. I know everything about everything.
My cousin
We should do that. We should start a line of bumper stickers. My cousin says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may not like me, but my mom loves me or something like that. Something cute.
So we're going to play that story joke game thing that we do.
Which one's that? We've done so many games throughout the years.
Okay, this is the one where it's a joke and I'm one character and you're the other.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get ready for hold on, let me get ready. Am I playing a lamb or a sheep?
No, we're a sheriff and a farmer. How's that?
Okay, I can handle that.
Okay. I think you're gonna be the farmer. We'll see how this works out.
Okay.
A busload of politicians were driving down a road when all of a sudden the bus ran off the road and crashed into a tree in an old farmer's field. The old farmer, after seeing what happened, went over to investigate. He then proceeded to dig a hole and bury the politicians.
Huh.
A few days later, a local sheriff came out, saw the crashed bus, and asked the old farmer.
Were they all dead?
The old farmer replied,
Well, some of them said they weren't, but you know how them politicians lie.
wow.
I sound like the Pepperidge Farm man. Remember
Kind
that
of.
commercial?
Yeah,
Pepperidge
yeah,
Farm.
you do. You do.
If we're in Vermont. Not so much Ohio, I know. Okay.
Late one night, in the capital city, which would be Washington, a mugger wearing a ski mask jumped into the path of a well-dressed man and stuck a gun in his ribs.
Give me your money.
He demanded. Indignant, the affluent man replied,
You can't do this. I'm a U.S. congressman. In that case,
replied the robber,
give me my money.
my money.
My money.
See, that's why I capitalized it.
My money. Yeah, I'm a taxpayer. Are criminals taxpayers? I guess they are.
This is going well, huh?
We're having a great show today. Let's do religion next week.
No, never. A tourist wanders into a back alley antique shop in San Francisco's Chinatown. Picking through the objects on display, he discovers a detailed life-size bronze sculpture of a rat. The sculpture is so interesting and unique that he picks it up and asks the shop owner what it costs.
$12 for the rat, sir.
Says the shop owner.
And $1,000 more for the story behind it.
You can keep the story, old man, he replies.
But I'll take the rat.
Not really all that political. However, transaction complete, the tourist leaves the store with the bronze rat under his arm. As he crosses the street in front of the store, 2 live rats emerge from a sewer drain and fall into step right behind him. Nervously looking over his shoulder, he begins to walk faster. But every time he passes another sewer drain, more rats come out and follow him.
By the time he's walked 2 blocks, at least 100 rats are at his heels, and people begin to point and shout. He walks even faster and soon breaks into a trot as multitudes of rats swarm from sewers, basements, vacant lots, and abandoned cars. Rats by the thousands are at his heels, and as he sees the waterfront at the bottom of the hill, he panics and starts to run full tilt.
No matter how fast he runs, the rats keep up, squealing hideously, now just thousands but millions, so that by the time he comes rushing up to the water's edge, a trail of rats 12 city blocks long is behind him.
Making a mighty leap, he jumps
into the water. Are we going to do each word? Why don't we try that?
Your head was nodding.
I'm sorry. I was giving you encouragement.
I'm like, go stop. Well, go ahead.
No, you go. Please go.
We're like Chip and Dale today.
We are.
Making a mighty leap, this rat jumps onto a light post, grasping it with one arm while he hurls the bronze rat into San Francisco Bay with the other as far as he can heave it. Pulling his legs up and clinging to the light post, he watches in amazement as the seething tide of rats surges over the breakwater into the sea, where they all drown.
Shaking and mumbling, he makes his way back to the antique shop.
Ah, so you've come back for the story,
says the owner.
No,
says the tourist.
I was just wondering if you have a bronze politician.
That was a long story.
All right, we're cutting our show short today. That was a long one.
Yes.
Huh? That was funny, though.
I found a website, pointer.org, and it had stories from people who work at the polls.
Okay, yeah.
And this one is called Electing the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, voters in a rural Nevada elected a dead brothel owner to the state assembly. And the only surprise was how unsurprising it was. Before the vote, several politician pundits told this poll worker that by dying 3 weeks before the election, Dennis Hoff may have actually improved his chances. Hoff is probably going to win in the heavily Republican district regardless, but his untimely death gave some political cover to religious conservatives who may have been squeamish about electing a pimp, even a licensed one. In a lot of pretty entertaining ways, Nevada is still the Wild West.
That's pretty good. He was absent and had a better chance.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We haven't done this for a while.
Okay.
I found some quotes from famous people about politicians and
fun.
stuff. Yeah.
I like that.
This is from Groucho Marx.
All people are born alike, except Republicans and Democrats. I should have said like Groucho Marx. Yeah. Except for Republicans and Democrats.
You can figure out how this fits into politics.
Yeah.
Diplomacy is the art of saying nice doggy until you can find a rock.
Says Will Rogers.
I like that one.
I do
Will
too.
Rogers. Yeah.
These are pretty good. Politics is the gentle art of getting votes from the poor and campaign funds from the rich by promising to protect each from the other.
That's way too true. Oscar Ameringer.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Okay.
No.
I think he's a baseball player. I'm not sure.
Now, we are going to mention one politician
Yes.
because he's dead.
Right.
This is from Ronald Reagan. The most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Oh, that's a famous one.
Yeah, he said
That's
that in
funny.
a speech. He
That's
said that in
pretty
a
good.
speech. He could always make fun of himself.
A citizen of America
Oh.
will cross the ocean to fight for democracy, but won't cross the street to vote in a national election. That is true. Bill Vaughn says that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
And we also told that joke at the beginning of the story. But yeah,
Oh, sorry. I wasn't
this
listening.
one, listen, if you didn't laugh at anything else, don't laugh at this. Bad officials are the ones elected by good citizens who do not vote.
Ooh.
George Jean Nathan. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think he was a baseball player, too. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Reasons why you weren't picked as a candidate for vice president. Not naming any parties. I had to cut out a whole lot. If you see this, I think there's 10 things, and I had to cut off 5 because, we're good people.
We are.
So the 5th reason that you weren't picked as a candidate for president,
Yes.
you didn't stick the landing during the interview.
The 4th one is your cavalier attitude when it comes to finishing sentences.
3,
Cavalier.
apparently Snake in the Grass was a poor choice for a Snapchat username.
And another one is, guess they couldn't overlook the whole third nipple thing.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
And the number 1, reasons you weren't picked as a candidate for vice president.
You can't recite the Schoolhouse Rock song about a bill becomes a law. Oh, I love that one. Do we have a...
And this was top5.com, and I'm sorry I totally had to edit it, but,
What? The Snake in the Grass was edited out.
Yes, it was. You don't want to know.
Oh, okay. I just saw that. Never mind, everybody.
Quick rumination, because I
Okay.
see Dave's ready. I question how Humpty Dumpty had horses and kings and men. The dude was just a freaking egg.
Oh, my gosh. I've yet to see a 5.5-gallon drum of M&Ms, or as I would call it, sharing size.
Once a year,
Sharing size.
on Lactose Intolerance Day, please
Oh.
remember to hug a cow.
Oh, my gosh. And I think Tuesday Weld is probably glad she didn't marry Joe Friday. That's good.
What other... Well, there is Wednesday. I was going to say, what other days of the week do we name people after? But
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, because that's all we have for today. I'm
Oh.
Kat,
And I'm Alex.
and we're going to the polls
To vote.
to vote.
October 7th.
Yes. See you later.
Oh, we're done?
Oh,
Hi.
we forgot the cat soup thing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Together we are...
Cat scoop.
Cat soup?
Scoop. Cat soup.
1, 2, 3. Cat
Cat
soup.
soup.
The best of internet humor on the radio.
Bye, everybody.
Namaste.